What's up everyone, John from ARTV. It's time for the third list of the year. This time it's the top 50 songs of 2015. According to me, ARTV, and of course with that means it's my personal opinion. It's my list, not yours, so don't go off in the comments about how this is missing or there's not enough hip-hop, there's not enough metal. I don't listen to the same things as you, and you don't listen to the same things as me, so take it with a grain of salt, if you will, or just take it as my opinion, because that's what it is. Let's have fun with this. Don't forget to smash the like button on the video, because these videos are very time-consuming, but at the same time, very rewarding. I love putting out year-end lists. I love compiling my favorites, so let's go ahead and kick it off with number 50.
I heard that you've been self-medicating in the quiet of your room, your sweet suburban tomb. And if you need a friend, I'll help you stitch up your wounds.
A lot of people asked where Future Hearts was on my top 20 albums of the year list, but guys, it just didn't quite make it. I gave it an honorable mention. If you actually check the video description of my top 20 albums video, it was there. But anyways, Missing You was not one of the speed bumps on the record, that's for sure. And it stood out to me over time because it's so different in a way for All Time Low. I'm loving the guitar tones there. It's very simple in a way, but at the same time kind of atmospheric, acoustic led, and I really like Alex's vocals on this track. There's just something so unique about it. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I've been digging it all year long.
It's official. You're fantastic. You're so special.
Oh yeah, New Order came back strong and kinda sexy. This sounds like it belongs in like an 80s porno soundtrack.
It's official. You're fantastic. You're so special.
Wait, in my vision of an 80s porno, why am I the only one in it?
I know when that hotline bling, that can only mean one thing. Ever since I left the city, you got a reputation for yourself.
How do I piss off the most people? I include Hotline Bling in my best of the year list. Everyone asking, where is Hotline Bling in the top 25 worst songs of the year list? Here you go, here it is, in the best. Don't you just love it? Don't you just love that people can have opinions different than your own? I haven't turned this song down since it came out. It's so damn catchy and irresistible. Drake sounds great on it, I think. Sure, he's very cocky and arrogant. He doesn't want this girl to move on from having late night sex, a booty call with him. He liked having that on speed dial and he doesn't have it anymore. That's what the whole song's about. She's running with a new group of friends now, and he can't have her anymore.
We'll be looking for sunlight or the headlights till our white eyes turn blind. We'll be lacing the same shoes that we've worn through to the bottom of the line, and we know that we're headed.
In what some have already said is a more shocking twist than number 48, clocking in at number 47, we have a track from Halsey, an artist that I have criticized many times, not only in my review, but also on my Twitter account, but mainly I feel like it's because of her fans and just the way they try to make her look. Yes, her image does try to provoke kind of this edgy feel, and I don't really care for that. She doesn't really let the music speak for itself a lot of the time, I don't feel like, but this is a track that bled through with a genuine heart, and it is a bit more of a deep cut, but at the same time, I love the progressions in this track. There's some really cool synthesizers that roll their way in. Halsey's voice sounds really good on the hook. It's catchy, it's snappy, it's memorable, and that's really all I could ask for in a pop song. It's like Evanescence on steroids. It's crazy, it's creepy, it's dark, it's twisted, it's Chelsea Wolfe, and you should hear this song if you haven't already.
We're already falling into the groove. And who needs a crowd when you're happy at a party for two? The world can't wait.
I highlighted this song not only in my review of Casey's album, but once again in the top 20 albums of the year. She placed at number 14 with her record Pageant Material. This track, Late to the Party, is just so sincere. It's traditional, it's heartfelt, it does have a few things that make it a little bit more modern, but not in the way that it sounds. The instruments sound like they could come out of like an 80s or 90s country track, and Casey just sounds so bold as she states that she's basically in love. She loves being seen with this person, and she wants people to know that they're together, but at the same time, it really doesn't matter all that much as long as they're together. Panned the album, loved the song. This track is just so catchy. I love the build up and the kind of danceable feel that it has as a whole. It's got a nice build up to the chorus, and then that rolls around and you're singing along every single time. It was a perfect summer jam, and I've found myself playing it into winter. The pinnacle of the latest Ghost release. Ghost BC, formerly in America for any of you fans who haven't caught up yet, but Ghost put out a damn solid record.
She wants to dance like Uma Thurman, bury me till I confess. She wants to dance like Uma Thurman, and I can't get you out of my head. The blood of the lamb. Body be thick like a bitch with them different, ripping shit, microphone gripping it, getting these Benjamins, new car whipping it. I'm so far ahead of y'all, man, I'm on top of the stars. I don't care none of your all, blah 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 blah. You best to go rewrite your balls.
Yep, Missy Elliott's back, and she's got fire lit under her. Pharrell Williams teamed up with her on the production here and actually dropped a guest verse. Yeah, it's a little bit silly, it's a little bit cheesy, but at the same time, this track is undeniable. The presence that they both have here and the chemistry that they have between each other, it's clear.
Sometimes you're happy and then you're half out, but you never close the door. What kind of man loves like these? What kind of man?
Florence Welch is an absolute powerhouse with her voice on this track, especially once it gets through the intro. It cuts through kind of a fog. We get this slow intro kind of taking us into the story. She's in this relationship on and off. The dude can't make up his mind, and it's not just your simple let's play it out like it's your typical love story type thing. She actually takes it a lot deeper, trying to get to the root of the issue. Like, what kind of man would love this way? You've got your foot in the door, you won't ever close it, you'll never totally walk away, but yet you still want me, you leave me dangling here. Just an amazing track. I loved seeing Florence and the Machine come back so strong, stronger than they've ever been before, really. Why did I never get around to reviewing this danceable neon Indian record? Dear Scorpio magazine being the highlight of it, at least one of the major highlights for me, other than a couple of the instrumental moments like Slumlord's release. This was the big standout for me, and I loved seeing Adele's take on kind of a futuristic point of view, talking about a group of friends getting together one night, people you haven't seen in forever. You didn't know how they were going to be, what they were going to look like, if they were even going to want to see you, but you're in this moment together, and you kind of want to hold on to it forever. You're wondering, does this person still think about me? Do I think about them more than I probably should? What are we in this moment? Let me just take a mental image and capture the whole thing. Beautiful tune. Adele killed it with her voice on this track, especially on the hook.
Me in Tonkin Square Park. I wanna hold you in the dark one last time.
Tompkins Square Park is kind of a heart-wrenching tune in a way. It sees Marcus Mumford, the leader of this band, basically begging for this relationship, his lover, not to go fleeting into the night. He's saying that there's this rift in between them because of a lie he told to her. It might as well have been 1,000 lies, but he really only told one major one, it seems like, and I love the instrumentation that goes along with it. It just makes it seem that much more earnest. I feel like a lot of fans that even panned the record enjoyed this tune. I know I definitely did. I love seeing him just kind of trying to fix this rift that was caused in the relationship, desperately trying to sew things back together. And the guitar solo and the guitar moments on this track, definitely just a fervent and burning way to open up Wilder Mind.
You hear that underground sonar, the way I flows to switch them. The pros been on a mission. Listen into the chamber, get hyperbolic. They raising max, I raise stakes to keep them brolic.
Did you even watch my top 20 songs of the year video, bro? I already talked about this one. Definitely my favorite track on Art Angels, that's for sure. I've given this record a few more listens since I reviewed it about a month and a half ago, but this one has really stuck with me in a major way. I love how odd this track is. It just gets weird with those kind of screamed vocals, especially leading up to the chorus. And then once that rolls around, it's just kind of out there and left field. You don't really know what to make of it maybe the first time you hear it, but I'm loving the way the guitars and the electronics mesh together perfectly, and Claire sounds just really convincing on this track.
Tie ribbons on your top hat, telling me I'm all that, just like the girls from your hometown. Sweet-blooded and I'm stranded, see if I can stand it. Drinking in the shallow water, magnetic, everything about.
This was a song that I could not stop myself from singing along to this entire year. It's just got such a punch and a pep to it. You want to be in the middle of this song. It's got an almost Western-leaning vibe, and then she kicks in, I wanna be on the front line, knotted up, suit tie. She's gonna be a hit. She's got pop rock appeal, she's got alternative crossover appeal. I could definitely see her and the likes of Ren Weaver just blowing up big time, and I hope they do. They've definitely got the talent to do so.
Let the river answer so I can get along. An electric fence, silent defense to your heart.
Not only did Mumford & Sons go electric this year, but so did singer-songwriter Laura Marling from the UK, who definitely deserves a lot more praise than she gets. Yes, I know that a lot of publications like Pitchfork really like her, but I just feel like she never developed that big of a following. In fact, I personally have actually been following her since like 2008, since I heard My Mannequin Eye, and that was kind of a surprising thing for me at the time. That wasn't my style, but it kind of helped me branch out and get into other styles of folk, country, and even pop and rock music.
With the lampshades on fire and the lights go out, the room lit up and we ran about. Well, this is what I really call a party now. Packed up our cars, moved to the next town. With the lampshades on fire and the lights go out. This is what I really call a party now.
Lampshades was probably the first song that I fell in love with in 2015, so it obviously earned its spot on this list. It's eccentric, it's weird, it's Modest Mouse at their best.
What's going on in your head now? Maybe something I said. It's driving me crazy. You can try the lie, but you're not gonna deny. No, you're not gonna deny my love.
Brandon Flowers goes 80s and pulls it off big time with a huge roaring chorus and just a total romp of a song. If you haven't checked it out, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Father spoke a prophecy to think that I believed the self-centered of me. There was something I was trying to say, but then I choked on it. Now it's getting kinda late. We walked to the edge, but we never left.
Brand New fired their way back onto the scene with this one-off single that may have been recorded at an earlier time but just got released this year. I'm hoping that their final, what is probably gonna be their final LP that is on the way. They've rumored about it, they've talked about it many times, and they're touring next year in the UK, maybe a few dates in the US as well. Please guys, just get in the studio, give us one more album, please. Thank you. The devil and God are still raging inside me. I didn't get around to checking out the full album until this past week, and spoiler alert, it's actually pretty damn good. Maybe not quite as great as 2013's Arc, but still a damn solid record, but this is one that I actually heard earlier in the year. Spring, summer, winter, dread. It's just a kind of an oddly happy song from Everything, this UK art rock, pop rock, a lot of different styles, can't really categorize them, outfit that has been turning out really solid material and just kind of turning the critics' heads collectively as they look at their material and can't really put them in a specific box.
Right now, it feels like we're bleeding so deep that we might not get back up. Our words would tear through the surface like a paper cut.
While not charting quite as high as it was initially, maybe in the middle of the year, I'm still really loving this collaboration between the DJ Zed and Troye Sivan, an up-and-coming singer from Australia. I think Troy has a really nice voice. Blue Neighborhood as a record, I know a lot of you guys wanted me to review it. Didn't care that much about it. It bored me to tears in some parts, and I found it mediocre at best. But I found Troy much more interesting on tracks like this. It's very deep, and I'm not saying that to make a pun because, you know, a paper cut cuts, tears through the surface, and I'm saying that because it's a very introspective track and it sees him kind of thinking out loud, and it's probably the best thing that I've heard from him lyrically. I believe Zed and a few other people helped to co-write it, but Zed did a great job of really putting a score to these thoughts, and then it has that epic build-up and then a huge roaring pounding payoff, and I love the little break that it takes. The synthesizers, they kind of build up and then kind of flatline for a minute, and then you just know something big is coming, and then they hit, and it's just a monster to be reckoned with. Telepathic waves are coming in. I'm reading the commenters' minds already. I know you didn't expect an Imagine Dragons track to chart this high on my list, but come on, Hopeless Opus is undeniable almost to an extent. I mean, you've got to give it to them. They put out a pretty mediocre and bland record, but there's moments on there that shine. The guitar playing on this track is commendable. I don't think the clip that I showed really does it justice, just because you can't hear the full context of it. There was a lot of building up to that, and there was a lot of guitar work that really just started getting layered and started building and just got a little bit zany and out there, especially for Imagine Dragons, for a band that plays it safe more often than not. They took some risk with a couple of tracks, including this one on Smoke and Mirrors.
I've been fucking around while you've been saving the world. I've been out of my mind, I've been dreaming things and scheming things. I've been smoking the poison, you've been slinging your anecdote.
Rewind things a year because I actually meant to put this song on my best of 2014 songs list. I guess you can blame my unpaid intern for that one. The unpaid intern is me.
And my thoughts ain't sexy yet. Are you watching me? 'Cause I move alone. Look a little harder. Shut your eyes and feel the rush. Will you fuck me while I stare at the
I kind of think the song has to speak for itself on this one.
Some color gray has appeal, nobody cries. Why through the street lamp shine, I'm still nothing flies. I feel the love every million miles. I feel love.
Thundering guitar riffs tear their way through the surface level of this track, and then Alison Mosshart comes in and gives an incredible vocal performance on the lead single from Dodge and Burn, the latest and possibly final LP from the Dead Weather. I keep saying final LP, I think I'm assuming the worst, and I don't know why I keep doing that. I just think all these bands that I like are breaking up. Churches might be the next one. Wait, but no, Churches, you can't break up. I mean, Lauren, you don't really want to go do your solo stuff, do you? Martin, you too? No! No, churches are not breaking up. Don't say that ARTV is trying to spread a rumor, because that's not true. Lauren Mayberry just said in an interview that they were going to be doing their own solo stuff one day. She could see that happening one day at least, but right now, the band is the main priority. Anyways, this track, Keep You On My Side, is one that I cannot take out of my rotation. I just keep coming back to it over and over again. It is one of the deep cuts on this record, but at the same time, I think it deserves to be a single. It's just a huge and emotional tune. I saw this live, and that clip that you saw, I shot that clip. It's one that really rivets, and not only with its strong verses, but obviously with that immense chorus that offers so much payoff to the listener. Grimy, 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 grimy. No, it's not Grimes, it's just a grimy beat from the Chemical Brothers that just speeds up, slows down, takes it all over the place, and makes for a hell of a tune.
Quiz, it's a pop quiz. All my money coming clean, you can't rock this. She got that pussy locked up like Lost Mill. Watch out, come to my lights like a reindeer. Me and Poppy on the same pill.
Crisp and clean production coming out of Jamie XX, obviously of the XX on this track. It's just so, I don't know, hard to really resist. It's one that you keep wanting to play over and over again. You might not be so keen on it at first, and you're like, Young Thug sounds so stupid on this track, but at the same time, whenever you let those inhibitions go, and you're like, you know, Young Thug's actually not that bad all of the time, he actually has a few good songs, then you're gonna have fun with this song. Play it at a party, trust me, it will get the people going.
I was all for being real, but if I don't believe, then no one will. What's mine isn't really yours, but I hope you find what you're looking for.
I didn't give her album enough attention, I'll admit that. I do need to go back to it. I plan on hearing it at least a few more times, but this is one track I think somebody posted on Symbol, somebody that I follow, and I really loved it. I checked out the album a couple of times, but this one is just one that I had to keep hearing, and I was like, I love how it builds, and she's just so dark in the beginning. There's basically nothing going on, and then it just roars into this kind of like passive-aggressive type tune saying, I hope you find what you're looking for. You can tell that she doesn't really exactly mean what she's saying, but at the same time, you love hearing it seethe out of her. God, the song is just, it's hard to listen to because it's so emotional. I mean, I don't know this guy. I don't know the Wonder Years and their friend that they lost, but I can feel what they're feeling, and whenever a song does that for you, it's incredible. It's an incredible experience that you just get lost inside of. Man, the 90s were fun. It's not just 90s nostalgia though. I love how Wolf Alice pulled off a track like this. In some ways you'll think you're listening to something from 1998, but at the same time, then you might feel like you're listening to something from maybe like 2008. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Wolf Alice are doing their thing. Obviously, I gave them the #1 spot on my top albums of the year video, and they've actually earned 2 spots on my top 50 songs of the year list. Freezy, of course, being the first of those that we're going to get to. Limit 2 per artist, obviously, because I might have put like 8 Wolf Alice songs on here if there wasn't a limit. I had to cut it off somewhere. This track just has such a fun, kind of looming and playful bass line, especially at the end of this thing. The guitars on it are fun, and I feel like they're just kind of having a good time with this track.
To be honest, I am full of shit, but that's alright because everyone knows that I'm the worst. It's just a tough thing for us humans to admit.
I love me some good sarcastic social commentary, and this song is absolutely full of it, calling yourself a hypocrite and calling the rest of the world hypocrites as well. What more could you ask for?
Until you forget me, get me not in your fantasy. Dream about me and all that we could do with this emotion. Fantasy.
Carly Rae Jepsen at number 16. Are you out of your mind, John? I see people all over the place commenting things like, why the hell are all these critics praising Carly Rae Jepsen? She's just pop garbage. And I'm thinking, you probably just listened to I Really Like You, the lead single, and maybe a couple of songs like Call Me Maybe, and just assumed the worst. No, not the case at all. This track, and in particular, the title track, Emotion, just 80s styled synth pop gold. It's that in a bottle, and I'm in love with it.
Close your eyes and you're gone. Dreams. She's making me high. She's making me high.
Beck took an almost Foster the People type alternative approach with Dreams, his latest single, which has yet to see an album release. I was hoping for something in 2015, but hey, Morning Phase just came out, just won a Grammy. 2014 was his year, and then of course he picked up the Grammy early this year, so I'm excited to see what's to come. Very choppy guitars on this thing, snappy chorus, I like the kind of distorted vocals. Dreams, dreams. You don't want to turn it off. It's a feel-good tune, and it clocks in at 5 minutes, but it honestly doesn't even feel like that. It's a breeze. This is easily the newest song on my list, but I had to give it a spot just because I can't stop playing it. It's seriously become a problem. I mean, it's got these like Beach Boys type harmonies, meets these really peppy instrumentals, and it's just got this progressing synth line electronics in the background. It just makes me so excited to see what Animal Collective are going to do with their record. How could you not be happy? How could you feel depressed while listening to this song? If you're feeling down, you're having a bad day, Dr. John prescribes 3 listens of this song. All will be well.
2,000 fathoms under a tidal wave. You can never pull me away. No way.
Speaking of vocal harmonies, Bourne steps in with his debut single 10,000 Emerald Pools, absolutely kills it. Blows it out of the water. His debut album was fantastic, a ton of fun. This song was included on it, and it's just a gem.
Don't ever doubt this, my steadfast conviction. My love, you're the one I wanna watch the ship go down with.
I feel like Father John Misty and I actually have some similar thoughts on things. He's so sarcastic and he creates these own little worlds, I feel like, that tell his tales and his songs that are probably based off of somewhat realistic life experiences, but at the same time, they kind of jump down a rabbit hole and turn into something else entirely. That's I Love You Honey Bear in a nutshell, and you can't not love it for that. I'll spare you the rundown because I already gave that to you in my top 20 albums of the year list whenever I talked about the Battles record, but this track is easily one of the best that Battles have ever created. It picks up the intensity, it drops it back down, it's all over the place, and it has an amazing instrumental. I love the fact that they didn't need vocals on this track to make it feel engaging and go on for nearly 7 minutes.
You'll be the moon, I'll be the earth, and when we burst, start over, oh darling. Begin again, begin again, begin again. You'll be the moon, I'll be the earth, and when we burst, start over.
Do you ever feel like a song has just like kind of like a dark soul? I feel like this is one of those tunes that does. Begin Again is just so dark, and even the synthesizers that are kind of shimmering on this track, they still hit and linger with just kind of an eerie quality, and you kind of want to run away from it, but at the same time you're like, ooh, shiny object, I'm gonna run to you and play you over and over again.
We never check the price tag. When the cost comes in, it's gonna be high. We love our bargains, we love the prices so low.
Speaking of price tags, I actually just got this shirt today for my birthday, and I did not check the price tag on it. I think my mom left it on here because I can still feel it, like in the back.
I just wanna feel something real.
Why is this song awesome? It's because it's blunt, and it's honest, and it talks about not being able to feel. You're talking about, I want to feel something real. I want to have this experience, but I don't know exactly how to get there, and I just want to do that. And the guitars kick in, it just sucks you into this world. And Nothing But Thieves have made such an amazing rock tune, and I love seeing what they're doing with their sound, with their record, and just the inspiration that they're drawing from. I relate to it on so many levels. Look, every critic gets one of these songs to put on his list. You know, the one that every single critic will probably have in his top 10 list. There's a reason it's on so many lists. I mean, it's a mesmerizing tune, takes more of a synth-driven direction, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like, you know, alienating fans, stepping away from what Tame Impala is all about. It's still got those psychedelic tendencies, just some keyboards springing up, and then some guitars. I love the way they kick in like the middle of this tune and the long instrumental break that it takes. It builds up, it has these weird vocal things going on, some almost whispering and murmuring going on, yet somehow it still feels very connective and just flows perfectly all throughout its long runtime. You'd be surprised at how many times I got caught air guitaring to this at stoplights and while I was driving in my car. I mean, not that I'm embarrassed or will ever see the majority of those people probably ever again. It's just the weird looks that you get. You know, you can't help but feel judged.
Kiss me with your fist, it's alright. Wrap your hands around my throat, I won't mind. I'm permanent now, I won't go. I just wanna be yours.
A lot of bands decided to tackle the 80s this year because that's, you know, the trend, and I don't hate it the majority of the time. In fact, I usually like it, and the Wombats were one of the ones that pulled it off in the best ways possible. They took some of my favorite elements of synth pop and that style and that time period of music and put it into songs like Be Your Shadow, ones that just hit harder and harder the more you hear them. Those knocking synths are going to be in the back of your head for weeks on end. Trust me, you're going to hit the repeat button on this song more than once. It's going to happen. You're going to be okay with it, and you're going to fall in love. It's okay. I'm here for you. I've been through it too, and it's okay. It's natural.
Away with everything. Anything you ever did was strictly by design, but you got it wrong. And I'll go anywhere but there.
I love this song. It is such a stand your ground, don't take any crap type song, and it sees Lauren Mayberry overcoming an abusive past relationship, moving forward, saying, you know what, you tore me down, you said that I couldn't do this, but at the same time, I don't care anymore. I have moved on from that. I am a stronger person now. I don't need you, and I am who I am. I make myself, I make my choices, and I am moving forward and seeing the best things in life. I love lines like, there are tiny cracks of light underneath me, and you got it wrong. Talking about all of these things that this person, this guy said to her, basically putting her down, but her finally realizing that it was time to step up and be confident and be who she is and have the power to move forward with life. Of course, churches kill it with the instrumental on this. That's a given, so why do I even need to get into this track? It's probably just something that you've already heard. You already know it's awesome. So let's move ahead to number 3.
I can see the evil, I can tell it, I know it's illegal. I don't think about it, I deposit every other zero. Thinking of my partner, put the candy, painting on a Rico. Digging in my pocket, in a profit, big enough to feed you every day. My logic, get another dollar just to keep you in the presence of your Chico. I don't talk about it, be about it, every day I sequel. If I got it, then you know you got it. Heaven, I can reach you.
I've said it before, but Kendrick Lamar made the most influential and the best hip-hop record of 2015, and All Right is one of those tracks that can stand on its own. I feel like a lot of these tracks that you need to hear them in the context of a record. It works a whole lot better. And while the running narrative, the whole I remember you was conflicted, that story is tied into this song all right, but at the same time, it's just kind of an uplifting anthem-styled song. No, I don't say that I relate to Kendrick's music necessarily, and I feel like some people listen for some sort of relatability factor. That's not what I'm here for. This is an empowering tune that I might not see eye to eye with exactly what he's trying to say, but it's fun to kind of try and rap along with it, and at the same time, listen to the statements that are being made here.
But it takes someone to come around to show you how. She's the tear in my heart. I'm alive. She's the tear in my heart. I'm on fire. She's the tear in my heart. Take me higher.
Oh no, 21 Pilots aren't sad anymore. Tyler Joseph got married and he's actually happy and is singing about his wife? How dare he do that? You gotta love that warm feeling that you get whenever you listen to Tear in My Heart. It's so good. It's a feel-good moment in a movie whenever things work out for the main characters or something like that. And I love seeing 21 Pilots being able to put something like this on their record.
I let you love take me. Now I feel alone. Keep me hurting, breathing. And I can never lose you more. 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 Never lose you more.
Wolf Alice struck a chord with me like nothing else did in 2015, so it's no surprise that I found myself putting one of their songs, one that's been around for a while but just got released on their debut album My Love Is Cool, at the top of my list of best songs. Your Love's Whore is one of those songs that might sound kind of cheesy or else just kind of far-fetched if you just look at the title, and whenever I did pre-order this record, I saw that. I had never heard the song before, even though it had been out for a while, technically in other versions and that sort of thing. But if you just look at it at surface level, you're not going to get much from it. But once you actually dive into it, you see that it's an infatuation with someone, being in love, being head over heels. And it's saying, you know, I see you as a friend. I see you as someone who might get away from me. But, you know, you're almost reassuring yourself. You know, we'll still be friends. You know, we'll still be lovers. Things are going to be okay in the end. But then once the bridge of this track rolls around, you see all those insecurities and all of those just thoughts of love just bleeding out into one gigantic moment. The guitar's power, the vocals just have this awesome effect on them. They feel kind of distant. There's a little bit of reverb placed there and drenching the guitars a little bit and the bass work as well. And I just love how this song has different forms. You know, it takes shape of a more restrained song in its verses, and then it finally explodes in some of its choruses, and then of course in the bridge of the track as well. And it goes off on this massive note of just like alternative madness. It's awesome. You can sink your teeth into it. It's an amazing track, and if you haven't heard Wolf Alice's album yet, what are you waiting for? You know I recommend it. You know I love this song. There's a reason it's #1, guys. And there you have it, folks. It's the 2015 Top 50 Songs of the Year according to me, ARTV. This was just my list, and of course if you would like to listen along on Spotify, click the link in the description down below. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, everything like that. It's linked in the description. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, well then what are you waiting for? Friends don't let friends go unsubscribed. Definitely click that little button below me. And of course, if there's other reviews that you would like to see me get to before the end of the year, I am going to be doing a throwbacks week upcoming, and I am taking suggestions for throwback reviews. But there's a couple of other albums I might try to get to, maybe Troye Sivan, maybe Cage the Elephant. That's probably more like a definitely for Cage the Elephant. But if there's anything else that you'd like to see me get to, let me know with a comment. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I poured a lot of time into it, so definitely make sure you share it out with your friends, anyone you might think will enjoy this list, or maybe find some new music for them, or maybe for yourself. I hope you liked it. I hope you found some awesome music and agreed with some of my choices, but if not, that's cool. Let me know your top 5 down below, and I'll see you guys next week for another year-end countdown right here on ARTV.